Hello, my PC students. This next assignment is just using a straight basic if statement, so I don't think you'll have a problem with it, but let's look at it. Let's go to File and go to Open Browse, and you want to go to your classes drive, go to PC, go to Teaching Documents, If Statements, and look for the one called XX Pasta Palace. XX Pasta Palace, there it is right there. Double click. Okay, so let's save it. Let's go File, Save As, go to Browse, and you want to go to your U drive, Print Com, Excel, If Statements. Click in your file name box, press Home, and type in your name and put in OCT or whatever your current date is for you. Alright, and save. And let's go to View, and let's go to Zoom and put it up to 150. Okay, so I'm going to widen this column here so we can read that. Our question says, employees who work less than 20 hours are paid at rate 1. Okay, and employees who work 20 hours or more are paid at rate 2. Well, it boils down to it doesn't really matter which one we take when we're doing the if statement, because if one is true, then the other one's got to be the false value. So let's go to C10 here, and we want to put in equals if. And so I'm going to go with the second one. If my hours are more than or equal to 20 hours or more, so more than or equal to 20, then I get rate number 2, absolute, times my hours, and there's my pay, right? And obviously the rest have to get the lower pay, so comma, and I'd have the lower pay, absolute, times your hours. And it's just a straight if statement, nothing more. Close your parentheses, done. Okay, so here, drag down, and we have our pay calculated for us according to the rate that we earned. Okay, so I'll put your show and hide on here for a second. I'll widen this column. Okay, so we have 38 hours, and either we're going to multiply by 1275 or we're going to multiply by 1150, and that goes all the way down. Okay, so now the night allowance. We work 2 nights, okay, and we get a night allowance of $35.75. Okay, so you want to take equals, and you work 2 nights times $35.75, absolute, because that doesn't change. And so that night you got $71.50 extra because you'd worked 2 nights and you got an allowance. Okay, and the gross pay now, it said calculate the gross pay for each employee. Staff get a meal to the value of $20 per shift and pay extra if the meal costs more. The meals charge column contains the extra amount. So when we go to calculate our pay, we want the sum, open your parentheses, of your base pay, comma, and your night allowance, right? Close your parentheses, but then we have to subtract, and this is how much you ate more than what you were supposed to. So we've got to subtract F10. Alright, so you end up with only $526 because you ate too much. And there's your new salary. Okay, we don't want, here I'm going to pick up this one and go to home here, double click on my paintbrush, and I don't want a $sign here, or here, or here, or here. Okay, we don't have any totals, so therefore we only have a $sign at the beginning of the column. Alright, the next part, the question said, who had the maximum gross pay? Okay, so maximum gross pay. And then it asked you for the minimum gross pay. Alright, well I'm just going to do this. I'm going to drag this down and double click here and type in minimum. Minimum gross pay, and then average gross pay. And I could do the same thing. I could have dragged it down twice and double click here and type in average. Okay, so maximum gross pay would be equals max, open your parentheses, and you want to take the gross pay. Who had the maximum? 526 was P. Brown, so you're going to copy it and name the person here. And then the minimum would have been equals min, open your parentheses for the gross pay, and your minimum was 150, and that was M. Lotto, so you're going to copy that and paste it. Don't type anything in, you might make a mistake. And your average, but it equals average, open your parentheses and select your average gross pay, and you got your average is 307.30. Alright, I think we've done everything there that we were asked to do, so go Control S to save, and we'll stop there.